We're talking about something really fundamental today: sleep. We all do it, but we often, overlook its immense power. Today, we're digging into Matthew Walker's incredibly impactful book, Why We Sleep: Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams. We're going to be guided by his core ideas, the fascinating details he unpacks. It's really a deep dive into why sleep isn't just like a break from life. It's actually a foundational pillar of it.
Oh, absolutely. And what a journey it promises to be. Walker, he really sets the stage, telling us his mission is to show us why sleep is, and this is his phrase, Mother Nature's best effort yet at contra death. And he argues that ignoring sleep is the most glaring omission in the contemporary health conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Its profound importance is often so undervalued.
It really is. And it's astonishing how little we understood about it for so long. And maybe even more shocking are the dire consequences when we ignore it. Walker doesn't pull any punches right at the start, does he?
Not at all.
He drops this fact that should make everyone sit up. Routinely sleeping less than 6 or 7 hours a night just demolishes your immune system.
Yeah.
Actually, more than doubling your risk of cancer.
Doubling it. That's huge.
And if that's not enough, insufficient sleep is also a key factor in Alzheimer's disease. That just floored me.
It's incredible, isn't it? And the physical toll, it just keeps adding up.
Yeah.
He highlights how even like moderate sleep reductions just for 1 week can disrupt your blood sugar so much that you can be classified as pre-diabetic.
In just a week.
Yeah. And beyond that, short sleeping consistently increases the chance of your coronary arteries getting blocked, becoming brittle, which then puts you on a path towards cardiovascular disease, stroke, congestive heart failure. It's a systemic breakdown.
And it's not just the body, is it? The mind suffers just as much. Walker emphasizes that sleep disruption contributes to pretty much all major psychiatric conditions, things like depression, anxiety, even suicidality. It really makes you realize this isn't just about feeling a bit groggy. It's fundamental mental well-being.
It really is. And it leads to that stark question: can a lack of sleep actually kill you?
Right.
And Walker's answer is a clear yes. He points to this extremely rare genetic disorder, fatal familial insomnia. Patients, they just progressively lose the ability to sleep at all. And they eventually die after about 12 to 18 months of no sleep.
12 to 18 months. It's exceptionally rare, of course,
Yeah.
but it really starkly highlights that sleep is absolutely necessary for life. There's just no getting around it.
Wow. That really puts our past ignorance into perspective, doesn't it?
Walker used this really powerful analogy. Imagine a doctor telling new parents, "Congrats, healthy baby." But from now on, for the rest of his life, he'll routinely lapse into this coma-like state for a third of his life. His mind often filled with bizarre hallucinations and, we have absolutely no idea why.
Right. That's basically how little we understood sleep scientifically until very, very recently.
Yeah,
It's almost unbelievable.
it is.
And what's so compelling is Walker's personal connection, his passion for it. He openly says he's in love with sleep. He's dedicated over 20 years of research to understanding it, communicating its brilliance. Yeah, from Harvard Medical School to UC Berkeley, he's consulted for the NBA, the NFL, Pixar, government agencies, all trying to bridge this huge knowledge gap about sleep.
So, if we were so ignorant, what have we learned? What about the basic science? One of the earliest insights, way back in 1729, this French geophysicist, Jean-Jacques Doutor de Méron, he discovered that these Mimosa pudica plants, the touch-me-not ones,
Yeah.
they have an internal self-generated 24-hour rhythm, even in constant darkness. He called it a circadian rhythm. They still opened and closed their leaves, no sun needed.
That was truly revolutionary, wasn't it? Proving organisms keep their own time. And building on that, later you had Kleitman and Richardson doing those cave experiments. Proves humans also have this endogenous circadian rhythm. And interestingly, when they were cut off from all external cues like sunlight, their internal day was consistently longer than 24 hours.
Longer?
Yeah, like 26 to 28 hours for Richardson. Walker calls it an inaccurate wristwatch whose time runs long. It shows how our internal clock, left alone, would sort of drift add time.
So if our internal clock is a bit, inaccurate, what else controls sleep?
Good question.
Walker breaks it down into two main factors regulating sleep and wakefulness. First, there's this chemical, adenosine, also called process S.
Adenosine.
It just builds up in your brain the longer you're awake, creates that pressure to sleep. You feel it getting stronger.
That sleepiness, yeah.
And second, there's that 24-hour circadian rhythm we just talked about. which promotes alertness, regardless of how much sleep pressure, how much adenosine has built up.
Right? It's like this internal tide pushing for wakefulness at certain times, even if you're tired.
Exactly, like a wake-up call that cycles on, almost ignoring your need for sleep.
And this brings us right to chronotypes.
Yeah.
The morning larks versus the night owls. It's fascinating because being a night owl, it turns out, is largely genetic. And society often unfairly labels these people as lazy, right?
Totally.
But Walker points out when a night owl is forced to wake up early, their prefrontal cortex, which he calls the brain's head office for high-level thinking and reason, it actually stays in a kind of disabled offline state.
Offline.
Yeah. Like their brain is a cold engine. It just takes a long time to properly warm up and function.
That's a great analogy. So, okay, we've got these rhythms, but the actual structure of sleep, that was a huge discovery too.
Oh, massive. 1952, Ezerinsky and Kleitman.
And they used Kleitman's own baby daughter, Esther, right?
Famously, yes, for replication. And they found we don't just sleep in one solid block. We cycle through two really distinct types of sleep. NREM, non-rapid, and REM, rapid eye movement sleep.
Yeah.
That changed everything.
So what are these stages actually for?
Good question. Deep NREM sleep, which you get more of early in the night, it acts to weed out and remove unnecessary neural connections. Walker likens it to a sculptor chipping away superfluous clay, tidying up.
Okay, cleaning house.
Exactly. Then REM sleep, which comes more later in the night, it strengthens the important connections that are left, like enhancing the fine details on that sculpture. And this is also where most dreaming happens.
Right, the dream stage.
And both stages are absolutely essential. Losing either one, Walker says, leads to a myriad of physical and mental ill health. And critically, the brain never fully sleeps back. Lost sleep. You can't just catch up properly on the weekend.
That's a key point. No real catching up. REM sleep, though, it's particularly fascinating. It's called paradoxical sleep.
That's right. Because during REM, your brain is incredibly active. Sometimes up to 30% more active than when you're awake.
More active than now.
Potentially, yeah. But paradoxically, your body is completely immobilized, paralyzed, essentially.
Which is probably a good thing.
Definitely. It's nature's way of stopping you from, acting out your dreams.
Okay. And the rapid eye movements. Are we watching the dream?
Good question. Walker explains they're actually linked to the physiological creation of REM sleep itself, not your eyes literally tracking dream visuals.
Huh. Wild. Your brain's buzzing, but your body's still.
It really is. And evolutionarily, it's interesting, too. NREM sleep seems to be the older form, found pretty widely.
Right.
But full-blown REM sleep,
Yeah.
that's really only found in birds and mammals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, suggesting it emerged later for specific functions NREM couldn't handle. And humans are kind of unique among primates. We sleep less overall, maybe 8 hours, versus 10 to 15 for other primates.
We sleep less.
In total time, yeah. But we have a disproportionately higher amount of REM sleep. Like 20–25% of our sleep is REM, compared to maybe 9% average for others.
Why is that?
Walker connects this to our ancestors moving to ground sleeping. Using fire for safety might have allowed us to evolve shorter but more intense, more REM-heavy sleep periods.
Fascinating. Okay, so with that basic science down, it really hits home how much is at stake. Let's really dig into the wide-ranging health consequences of not getting enough of this stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
Starting with the cardiovascular system, the impact is, well, it's pretty severe. Progressively shorter sleep over time is linked to a 45% increased risk of coronary heart disease.
45%.
And get this, a Japanese study found sleeping 6 hours or less. That leads to a 400 to 500% higher risk of cardiac arrest.
Whoa, 400 to 500%.
Yeah, it's staggering. Even just losing 1 or 2 hours can speed up your heart rate, increase blood pressure. Even in young, fit people, it's like this constant low-grade stress.
And that's exactly what Walker says it is. Insufficient sleep keeps the body stuck in this overactive sympathetic nervous system state. Basically a chronic fight or flight response.
Fight or flight all the time.
Yeah. He describes it like revving a car engine way too high for way too long, never letting it cool down. This sustained stress just puts immense strain on your body, leads to all manner of health issues. It's exhausting just thinking about it.
Definitely. And beyond the heart, what about metabolism and weight gain? Less sleep hits that hard too.
Oh, absolutely. When you sleep less, you're not only more likely to eat more, but your body also becomes much less effective at managing calories, especially blood sugar.
Right.
This dramatically increases your chances of gaining weight becoming overweight or obese, and developing type 2 diabetes.
And there are specific hormones involved, aren't there?
Exactly. Sleep deprivation causes this profound imbalance in your hunger hormones. It dials down leptin, that's the hormone that says stop eating,
Okay, let's stop.
and it ramps up ghrelin, the one that shouts keep eating.
More go.
Precisely. Walker vividly says a sleep-deprived body will cry famine in the midst of plenty. And even more compelling, he talks about brain scans. They show a silenced prefrontal cortex, your
Impulse control goes down.
and amplified primal desire region, so you crave high-calorie foods. He says it adds up to about an extra 600 calories consumed when you're sleep-deprived.
600 calories just from being tired.
Wow. And it hits reproductive health, too.
It does. For men, sleep disorders are linked to lower testosterone, a 29% lower sperm count. And Walker even points out, somewhat bluntly, significantly smaller testicles.
Oh.
And for women, routinely sleeping less than 6 hours means a 20% drop in follicular-releasing hormone.
Which is crucial for conception.
Right, leading to menstrual cycle issues, subfertility. It's a complete system-wide effect.
In the immune system, we touched on that earlier, cancer risk, but also just basic infections, definitely. Your immune system is profoundly compromised. Less sleep literally means higher infection rates. Studies showed people sleeping 5 hours on average had almost a 50% infection rate for the common cold,
50%.
compared to just 18% for those getting 7 or more hours.
Huge difference.
And yeah, poor sleep quality increases cancer risk, fuels its growth. The World Health Organization even classifies nighttime shift work as a probable carcinogen. Your body's defenses are just down.
It's even more fundamental, isn't it? Walker says not sleeping enough significantly modifies your gene transcriptome.
Oh yeah, that phrase is powerful.
He argues you're essentially doing genetic engineering manipulation on yourself each night, tampering with your own biology.
It's a truly potent and, frankly, frightening thought.
It really is. Okay, shifting gears slightly, what about cognitive impacts? Learning, memory?
Oh yeah, crucial area. Walker found that students pulling all-nighters to cram. Big mistake.
We've all done it. Or been tempted.
Right. But memories formed without sleep are weaker memories, evaporating rapidly. He uses this great analogy. It's like building a sandcastle too close to the tide line.
Doomed to wash away.
Basically, yeah. No matter how hard you cram, the foundation isn't solid.
But there's good news too, right? Sleep can help recover memories.
Yes, that's the flip side. Walker explains, sleep can salvage those memories that appear to have been lost soon after learning. Like a computer hard drive recovery service.
I like that.
You wake up, and suddenly you can retrieve stuff you couldn't before.
I've definitely had that happen.
Absolutely. And it's not just facts and figures. Motor skills, too.
Motor skills, like sports or playing an instrument.
Exactly. Sleep, specifically NREM sleep, refines motor skills. Studies show a 20% jump in performance speed and a near 35% improvement in accuracy after sleep.
20% speed, 35 accuracy. That's significant.
Hugely. So much so that pro sports teams, NBA, NFL, they're now seeing sleep as a legal performance enhancer.
A legal performance enhancer. Love it.
And it even helps stroke patients reconfigure neural pathways to regain motor function.
Amazing. But maybe the most mind-blowing benefit is creativity.
Arguably, yes. REM sleep acts as this nighttime theater. Your brain makes most distant, non-obvious associations, like a backward Google search, he calls it.
Backward Google search. Interesting.
Fostering incredible problem solving. Think about those famous stories. Paul McCartney dreaming Yesterday and Let It Be.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger dreaming the riff for Satisfaction, apparently followed by 40 minutes of snoring. Mary Shelley dreaming the core idea for Frankenstein. Walker even cites studies where people trying to solve a virtual maze perform 10 times better if they dreamed about maze elements.
10 times better just from dreaming about it.
Yeah. It's like your brain is working on solutions totally offline while you're asleep.
Incredible. And what about emotional processing? Does sleep help with that?
It absolutely does. REM sleep acts as overnight therapy, particularly by stripping the raw emotion away from difficult memories, like trauma.
So it helps process things without the intense feeling.
Exactly. He gives the example of the drug prazosin. It's used for blood pressure, but it lowers noradrenaline. This helped PTSD patients because it created the right chemical conditions for REM sleep to do its therapeutic work, reducing painful nightmares.
No, that's a direct link.
And REM sleep also recalibrates the brain regions we use for reading facial expressions, which is obviously crucial for social interaction, navigating the emotional world.
So sleep basically tunes up our emotional intelligence every night.
That's a great way to put it, yes.
Okay, so we've established sleep is incredibly powerful, essential even, and not getting enough is disastrous. But our modern lives are full of things that get in the way. What are the big disruptors? And importantly, what can we actually do?
All right, the practical side.
Let's start with a common one. Melatonin supplements. Are they the magic bullet?
Well, Walker raises some serious questions. He points out that over-the-counter melatonin is often unregulated. The actual concentration can vary wildly from what the label says.
Oh, so you don't know what you're getting.
Pretty much. And he suggests a lot of the perceived benefit might just be a significant sleep placebo effect, which, a placebo effect is real for the person experiencing it, but it doesn't mean the pill itself is a potent sleep aid.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about caffeine? The world runs on it.
Yeah, caffeine. It works by blocking adenosine, that sleep pressure chemical.
Right, blocks the sleepiness signal.
Exactly. But how quickly your body clears it out, that depends heavily on your genetics. Explains why some people can have an espresso right before bed and be fine.
While others feel jittery from 1 cup in the morning.
Precisely. And interestingly, aging slows down caffeine clearance too. So that afternoon coffee might hit harder as you get older.
Noted. Then there's alcohol. So many people use it as a sleep aid.
Big misconception there. Walker is very clear. Alcohol is not a sleep aid, it's a sedative.
Sedative, not sleep aid. What's the difference?
Sedation just knocks you out. It doesn't induce natural restorative sleep. Alcohol actually fragments your sleep. It riddles the night with these brief awakenings you don't even remember.
So you wake up more even if you don't realize it.
Exactly. And it heavily suppresses REM sleep, that crucial stage for memory and emotion. That's why you can feel so drained and foggy the next day, even after 8 hours.
Makes sense. Okay, what about our screens, artificial light?
Oh, huge disruptor. Especially the blue LED light common in smartphones, tablets, computers. Walker cites studies showing it can block melatonin production by about 23%.
Nearly a quarter.
Yeah. And it delays sleep onset, literally tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, sending a powerful physiological lie.
A physiological lie, okay. And sleeping pills, prescription ones.
Another area Walker challenges directly. He argues they're also sedatives, inducing sedation, not natural sleep.
Same issue as alcohol then.
Similar mechanism,
Hey.
yeah. Plus, they're often addictive. They can cause rebound insomnia when you start making sleep even worse. And objectively, in sleep lab studies, they often show no objective benefit beyond that which a placebo offered in terms of actual sleep quality.
No real benefit beyond placebo. Ouch.
And they're associated with higher rates of infection too, likely due to impacting sleep quality. So, not a simple fix.
Definitely not. This brings up that idea of the sleepless elite, right? People who claim they only need 4 or 5 hours.
Ah, yes, that myth. Walker tackles it head on. He acknowledges there is a gene variant, BHLHE41, that allows a tiny fraction of people to survive on less than 6 hours with minimal impairment.
So it exists.
It exists, but it is remarkably rare, extremely rare. He quotes his colleague, Dr. Thomas Roth, who puts it very bluntly. The number of people who can survive on 5 hours of sleep or less without any impairment, expressed as a percent of the population and rounded to a whole number, is 0.
0%. Wow. Okay, message received.
It's a necessary reality check, I think.
And that myth extends to older adults too, doesn't it? The idea they just need less sleep.
Yeah, that's a really damaging misconception. Walker emphasizes it's completely false. Older adults need just as much sleep as younger adults, but they often struggle to generate it. Their ability declines.
So they can't get what they need.
Exactly. Their sleep efficiency drops. And this is linked to higher mortality risk, worse physical health, more depression, lower cognitive function, including impaired learning because they produce fewer sleep spindles. These brainwaves important for memory consolidation.
And this can be mistaken for something else?
Tragically, yes. This sleep-related cognitive decline is often misdiagnosed as dementia, when poor sleep is actually a major contributing factor, or even the primary cause.
That's heartbreaking. Okay, let's touch on specific sleep disorders. Insomnia seems like the big one.
It's the most common. Affects about 1 in 9 adults. And it's notably more common in women and also in minority groups,
Why does it happen?
often triggered by worry, anxiety. This leads to that overactive fight-or-flight nervous system we talked about. It raises core body temperature slightly, keeps the emotion, memory, and alertness centers of the brain too active, basically preventing the brain from shutting down properly to initiate sleep.
So your brain just won't switch off.
That's the feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
There's narcolepsy, that's different, right?
Very different. It's a neurological disorder. Affects maybe 1 in 2,000 people.
Caused by a deficiency in a brain chemical called orexin, which regulates wakefulness.
What are the symptoms?
The main one is excessive daytime sleepiness. Walker describes it as feeling like you've been awake for 3 or 4 days straight, constantly. Plus, often sleep paralysis, that terrifying inability to move when waking up or falling asleep.
Oh, that sounds awful.
And cataplexy. That's a sudden loss of muscle control, often triggered by strong emotions like laughter or surprise. People can literally collapse.
Triggered by laughter.
Yeah. And finally, somnambulism or sleepwalking.
Sleepwalking. What causes that?
It's thought to be an unexpected spike in nervous system activity during deep NREM sleep. It leaves the person kind of stuck between states, not fully asleep, not fully awake, a mixed consciousness.
Can people do complex things while sleepwalking?
Sometimes, yes. Walker mentions the really tragic Ken Parks case. He drove miles and attacked his in-laws while supposedly sleepwalking, later acquitted based on it being non-volitional. It illustrates that these sleep disorders can lead to complex, sometimes dangerous actions without conscious awareness. Real consequences.
Absolutely chilling. Okay, so we've seen the personal cost. What about the societal impact? In business, for instance.
The cost there is staggering. Studies show insufficient sleep costs U.S. companies somewhere between $2,000 and $3,500 per employee per year.
Per employee, wow.
Yeah, mostly in lost productivity. For large companies, that can add up to like $54 million annually. And it's not just the workers. Leader performance, decision-making, it fluctuates dramatically depending on their sleep, often more than differences in their actual ability.
So a tired boss is a bad boss.
Pretty much, yeah. And the situation in healthcare is particularly dire.
Healthcare. Doctors and nurses working long shifts.
Exactly. Walker points out that sleep-deprived medical residents commit 36% more serious medical errors. And get this, 460% more diagnostic mistakes after a 30-hour shift.
460%.
Yeah. And surgeons, if they operate with less than 6 hours of sleep, they have a 170% increased risk of making a serious surgical error.
That is terrifying for patients. Have things changed?
Walker argues not enough. Even revised schedules for first-year residents often still involve working 24 hours straight, which is just incredibly hazardous for everyone involved.
It seems obvious something needs to change there. And public safety. Drowsy driving.
Equally chilling. Being awake for just 19 hours, that makes you as cognitively impaired as someone who is legally drunk.
19 hours awake equals legally drunk.
Cognitively, yes.
Yeah.
And driving on less than 4 hours of sleep, that increases your crash risk by 11.5 times.
11 times.
And Walker stresses this risk isn't linear. It increases exponentially with each hour of sleep lost. It gets rapidly worse.
Wow. What about truckers?
Big issue there. High rates of sleep apnea often go undiagnosed. Drowsy truckers are 200 to 500% more likely to be in accidents. And when those accidents are fatal, on average, they take 4.5 other lives with them. It's a massive silent public health crisis on our roads.
The silent epidemic.
Truly. Walker also touches briefly on what he calls the inhumane use of sleep loss. For example, deliberately depriving people of REM sleep, dream sleep, can actually induce psychosis fairly quickly. Participants in studies started experiencing hallucinations, paranoia, by just the third day.
Just 3 days.
Yeah, and he offers a pretty strong critique of the widespread use of amphetamine-based ADHD meds like Adderall, Ritalin, noting they're powerful stimulants used to force wakefulness, chemically similar to street drugs. He likens it to an uptown version of a downtown drug pusher. Strong words highlighting his concern.
Okay, so the problems are huge, systemic. But there must be solutions, right? What does Walker suggest?
Thankfully, yes. One of the most effective for insomnia is CBTI.
CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia.
Exactly. It's proven more effective than sleeping pills. Helps people fall asleep faster, sleep longer, improve quality, and the benefits last long-term, even after the therapy stops.
Unlike pills where you might get rebound insomnia.
Precisely. The American College of Physicians now recommends CBTI as the first-line treatment for chronic insomnia. That's a big deal.
That is huge. What about simpler things, like naps?
Naps get a thumbs up. Walker points to Greece, where abandoning regular siestas was linked to a 37% increased risk of death from heart disease. It reinforces the idea of biphasic sleep, 2 sleep periods in 24 hours, being potentially very healthy. So that afternoon nap, not lazy, potentially life-saving.
Good to know. Okay, individual solutions. What can people do themselves, passively?
The basics.
Yeah.
A dark, cool, gadget-free bedroom. Make it a sanctuary for sleep. And looking ahead, he's excited about light engineering.
Light engineering?
Yeah, imagine LED bulbs that filter out blue light in the evening to help melatonin production, and then provide stimulating blue light in the morning to help you wake up sharp.
Customizing our light exposure.
Exactly. He mentions NASA using this for astronauts on the space station, dealing with 16 sunrises a day. It helps regulate their circadian rhythms.
Cool. What about active things we can do?
Education is key. Walker found students in his own sleep science class actually started sleeping more, about 42 minutes more per night, on average, just from learning about it.
Knowledge is power.
It really is. Wearable tech can also help, providing personalized data. Seeing how your sleep affects your mood, productivity, that could be motivating. It can even help optimize things like when to get your flu shot for best immune response.
Really? Flu shot timing.
Based on sleep patterns, yeah. And of course, diet and exercise. Exercise generally increases total sleep, especially deep NREM, while diets high in simple carbs and low in fiber can actually reduce deep NREM and lead to more awakenings. It's all connected.
It really is. Okay, zooming out again. Societal changes. What needs to happen on a larger scale?
Well, education in schools is a huge gap. Walker found basically 0% of people surveyed ever received any formal education about sleep. 0. Implementing sleep education and maybe later school start times for teenagers. Studies show later starts improve attendance, reduce behavioral problems, even decrease substance abuse, partly by shortening that unsupervised danger window after school.
Makes sense for teens' natural rhythms, too. And hospitals. You mentioned the resident issue. What about patients?
Yeah, hospital reform is crucial. Doctors and nurses consistently overestimate how much their patients are actually sleeping.
They think patients sleep more than they do.
Significantly more. Simple changes could make a big difference. Reducing unnecessary nighttime alarms and noise. Educating staff on sleep's importance for healing. Structuring tests and procedures around patients' natural sleep rhythms when possible.
Common sense things, really.
You'd think so, and the results can be dramatic. He mentions NICU's neonatal intensive care units. Ones that dim the lights at night saw incredible results in preterm babies.
Like what?
Like 50–60% improvements in weight gain, higher oxygen levels, and get this, discharge 5 weeks earlier on average.
5 weeks earlier, just from better lighting and sleep?
It highlights sleep as just this incredibly powerful fundamental healing tool, even for the most vulnerable.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway here for you listening? Matthew Walker's work sends a really clear, powerful message, doesn't it? Sleep isn't a luxury. It's not optional. It's like a universal healthcare provider, this amazing elixir for wellness and vitality that we've just ignored.
Massively ignored.
It really feels like it's time to reclaim our right to a full night's sleep and maybe shed that weird stigma, that idea that needing sleep is somehow lazy.
Absolutely. Walker calls this silent sleep loss epidemic the greatest public health challenge of the 21st century. That's not hyperbole. He says if we want to avoid the premature death and the ill health it brings, we need a radical shift, personally, culturally, societally, in how we value sleep. So maybe the final thought for you to consider is this. What's one small, actionable change you can make starting today? Something to honor your own biological need for sleep. And in doing that, maybe begin to truly feel what it's like to be fully awake, fully alive, infused with that deepest plenitude of being, as he puts it.